Mr. Lutnick, thank you. The reason we're so short in our questions is because you're so short in your answers, and it's pleasing. That happens rarely. Thank you for being direct. I want to indicate to you that we will have an opportunity to be well acquainted. I chair the Appropriations Subcommittee that funds the Department of Commerce. And
so how are you, sir?
Yes. All right, you've impressed me. That's what I was looking for.
Yes, to your first question.
Oh, let me shuffle my questions. Let me tell you something about the BEAD grant and just highlight, you have an opportunity to make this BEAD grant program work, as you heard Senator Thune indicate and others. But let me also tell you that the BEAD grant dollars are subject to taxes. So the company that receives the grant to put broadband into rural and underserved areas has to pay taxes on the money received. This is not something you can directly do something about, but we have legislation to eliminate the tax. And it seems to me that if you want the BEAD grant program to work and actually get the dollars to the people across the country, including Kansas, who need broadband services, reducing the amount of money that's available by taxing the grant makes no sense. Am I missing something here?
What you just said sounds entirely sensible.
That's not my first question.
Oh.
That one was too easy, and we're working to solve that problem, but your input and support at a point in time may be helpful to us. A lot of talk about trade policy. I was going to ask you about your vision for agriculture. I only would highlight again, Kansas is one of those states. This committee here is a very rural committee, or the members who make up this committee often come from rural parts of the country, but there are significant challenges to farmers and ranchers. Also, I would add to that list, we have a lot of small manufacturers who make farm equipment. And the consequence of a lousy farm economy has a consequence there, but so do tariffs upon steel and metals, aluminum, in the manufacturing process of products that farmers buy. In the first Trump administration, President Trump included a robust 301 tariff exclusion process for American business. How will you approach an exclusion process? That exclusion process was a part of the Department of Commerce, and companies could make an application for an exclusion from a tariff. Do you have thoughts about that?
I think the president signed an EO directing Commerce and the USTR to study tariffs and do a rigorous study. So I'm going to let the experts drive that study. But I'm a more simple view of tariff sort of guy, and I think the president is of like minds, which is the steel and aluminum had 560,000 applications for exclusions. It just seems that's too many. I think we need to simplify it and make it more effective.
Let me ask a question about tourism. And you within the Department of Commerce have a National Travel and Tourism Office. There's a creation of a large-scale sporting event task force that we would encourage you to implement. This arises because of the major events that are soon to occur in the United States, FIFA and the soccer tournaments across the country, the U.S. Olympics coming to Los Angeles. These are huge events that develop lots of economic activity in the country and need the attention of the Department of Commerce. Does that make sense to you?
That's a really good idea.
Thank you. And finally, Kansas, about 250 million years ago, was covered by an ocean. Therefore, I have a fish question. The previous administration had proposed a rule that sought to amend vessel speed regulations in an effort to further protect the endangered North Atlantic right whale. The intent behind this rule, I suppose, is commendable, though the industry was not consulted in its promulgation. Can I have your commitment that as Secretary, the department will work with the U.S. marine industry, including boating, marine and maritime technology providers? There's science and technology that can help address this issue that is being left behind, and I want to make sure that it's considered in the effort to protect marine life while also leveraging that technology availability.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.